We're going to see Marvin or Jackie Boy Man anytime soon. They are the next ones that I have to do. I want to do more with them. Jackie Boy Man I've done more with than Marvin. Has Marvin only ever shown up once? For that Marvin's Magic Power Hour? And I haven't done anything with him since, but he's one of my favorites. Because he's so visually striking. He's the most visually satisfying character, I think. But the problem that's happening with them now is that Chase is just a regular dude. He just walks around and he does his own regular life. JJ he's basically regular, but he's the result of filters and stuff for the editing side of it. So it's a little easier to do, but Jackie Boy Man, and especially Marvin, because Jackie Boy Man's a superhero, so to do a story with him that's not just lame and boring and him sitting around in his house or something, which could work, but I want to like show him in action. And to do that, you need sets and costumes and characters and visual effects. And then coming with Marvin is even harder because he's very visually effects driven because he has magic. So to do stuff with them is gonna take more time, it's gonna take more budget, and it's just gonna be a bigger undertaking that you actually need like a bit of a crew to pull off. So I'm gonna make sure that I have stuff written properly first. And then I'll make sure, because I don't want to go into it with half-assed ideas and then be like, okay, well this could work and that could work, because then it just comes out as a half-assed project. So I want to make sure that going into it, we have all the stuff in place, and then it'll look cool. But I do have, like, stuff written. Like, I have a little notepad that I keep with me, like, all the time. So whenever I'm watching, like, TV shows, or I'm on the train... Siri, no. Or I'm on the train, or I'm going somewhere, or I'm watching a movie, or anything. Anytime inspiration strikes where I see something, and then I'm like, oh... That, like, reminds me of something else, and I'm like, oh, I could do that, or this, and... Stuff it's basically like my ego inspiration diary. So it has like character profiles in it, and it has just like one-liners for what I want. Like, one of the things I wrote down is completely maniacal laughing. Big brain. It's not like Auntie's never done that before. So it's stuff like that, and it's full of like, I have certain scenes in my head that I want to do, but they're not connected yet. But it's just like cool visual imagery, and like it's kind of the bare bones of like a story. It's not like script stuff. It's more visual identity and sound identity. Because it was the same with the Schneepelstein and the Chase one, or just Chase. Is that a JoJo reference? The Chase video had a very distinct sound effect at the end of it that I put in purposefully, because it has an identity. It has like, once you hear that, you're like, oh, it like sticks in your head. Instead of just like a random sci-fi sound effect, I wanted to make sure that it had like a bite to it, and if you heard it again, it would remind you of that. But I have such big plans for this stuff that I'm kind of beating my head against the wall to be like, okay, how do I get this done? How do I make it really big budget without having to spend like $1 million on it? These things are very expensive to do. The camera that Chase was shot on, just to rent it for like 2 days, was about $6,000. And then it becomes like a cost versus efficiency kind of thing, versus a recoupment kind of thing. Not that I mean, I'm not like broke by doing this or anything, but you don't want to just throw money at things, especially if they're not going to really work out. So, like, the camera we used was an Ari Alexa cam, which is, I don't know, Tucker knows more about it. He was the one who rented it. And they're really expensive to rent. And that was a deal that we got. And then, but like buying a camera like that and the lens on a camera like the lenses on them alone, a really good anamorphic lens is about $50,000. So renting it for that price is actually really efficient, but it's like the more we do it, it's the same with the Troy and Matt Mercer interviews and the one with Aaron as well. Like those are the same cameras. So it costs quite a bit of money to do them, but they look so good. So I want to keep doing that kind of stuff and really make it look really nice and have a really nice visual identity to it. And the chase video I'm really fucking proud of. I even premiered that on my channel, and I haven't premiered anything else on my channel, but that was like such a big thing that I was really excited for, that I sat down and I premiered it because I wanted to see people's reactions like this live. And when it was about to go live, that's the most nervous I've ever been doing anything on YouTube. Going out on to do a show on tour wasn't even as nerve-wracking as that. Because it was just, I don't know, it was something that I really liked, and I was like, oh god, I hope people enjoy it. And I kept teasing it out because I love doing that. And doing like Easter eggs and little hidden stuff here and there, and that's my forte. So I was doing that, and I was like, oh god, I hope people aren't expecting too much out of this. Because it was only 4 minutes long, and I was like hinting at it for so long, and then it looks like a movie, and then it's over in 4 minutes. So I was like, I hope people like it. And thankfully people did. It was, the response to that was crazy, so thank you. It's only like a tiny snippet as well. It's only a tiny little piece of the whole story. So I want to do much more like that next year. I'm going to take time next year to really do proper ego stuff. That everyone's going to be like, oh my god, it's happening! But, come on, you knew that I was going to do that eventually. If you didn't, then you haven't been paying attention. But I really want to go hard on it next year and, like, really work out a really big ego project next year. And that's what this kind of stuff is for, is, like, getting all the visual pieces in place and getting all the character traits and how they interact with each other and where they're going and how we juggle all these balls. But I have... The story I want to tell is pretty high concept, and it's not straightforward, so it's going to take a lot of planning. But hopefully when it's done, I don't want to just go into it and be like, yeah, can somebody fund this thing? YouTube, can you do a premium originals thing? And then go into it with like half-assed ideas. Like I need to make sure that it's done properly.